Steve Bannon, a former political aide to President Donald Trump at the time, reported to federal prison today. Bannon is serving a 4-month sentence for contempt of Congress after defying a subpoena from the House committee that investigated the Capitol attack on January 6, 2021. Bannon, a podcaster and former Breitbart executive chairman who remains popular with Trump supporters to this day, by the way, was convicted in July of 2022. In addition to his 4-month sentence, Bannon was fined $6,500. Let me say this, it should have been more. He should have been fined a hell of a lot more. And it has nothing to do with his politics. And I want to be very, very clear about what I'm saying about Steve Bannon. I'm not one of those people that's going to look at Breitbart News and just because I'm not some flaming conservative, I'm a registered independent. Just because I'm not some conservative means that I'm going to speak against him like that. No, that's not what this is about. The fine should have been significantly stiffer. And I would not have minded if it was 6 months instead of just 4 months, for one reason above all else. The law is the law. Every American citizen, if you get subpoenaed to show up on Capitol Hill, you got to show up. You got to show up. You don't get to subvert law and order when you're, especially when you're being hypocritical because you were assisting a president at the time who lived on law and order. And I don't mean at the time as if it was at the time of the insurrection in our nation's capital, at the U.S. Capitol. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that Trump has been about law and order from day one, from the moment he arrived at the White House. That's what he preached about. So guess what? You got to follow laws. And if Congress subpoenas you, you got to show up. Steve Bannon could have showed up and answered questions. You could have showed up and been defiant with the answers to your questions. But you do have to show up. Anybody else would. And the fact that he did it, he deserves to be in jail for 4 months. It's just that simple. We don't have to get in politics. I'd say the same thing about an elected official on the left or a surrogate of an elected official on the left as well. I don't care who you are. When we talk about laws being followed in this country, we understand there's different strokes for different folks, and the all-powerful are subjected to rules and regulations to a lesser degree than the rest of us, and we get that. But there's some basic tenets that everybody should have to follow. When Congress subpoenas you, you must show. Just like if law enforcement filed charges against you and you have to show up to be indicted or to be arrested, that's what you have to do. We don't get to shove aside that. And that's not about left, that's not about right, that's about America. If we're going to debunk law and order and shove it aside like it means nothing and think that we could get away with that, where's that going to leave the rest of the country? If you're Steve Bannon, why would you want to assist in any way in supporting folks to subvert the law? Why do you think these people, it's our house, it's the people's house. Well, damn it, stop being stupid. I'm speaking in general, not to Steve Bannon. Stop being stupid. There's barricades that were surrounding the U.S. Capitol for a reason. There's security for a reason. There's metal detectors for a reason. Windows 2, 3, 4 stories up is not to be broken into, and you think that's a legal way to get in because you're a voter and it's your house. Stop being stupid. You violated the law. You endangered legislative officials. That's what happened on January 6, 2021. And when that was being investigated, every nook and cranny of it, and you're subpoenaed to show up and speak, you must show up and speak. No matter who you are. No matter who you are. I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't there. But if Congress had subpoenaed me to show up and speak, I have to show. Even if it's to say, I have nothing to say. I have to show. And Steve Bannon didn't do that. And what we can't have are people in our society who encourage folks to break laws. Marching, protesting, that's different. Busting through barricades, penetrating the corridors of the United States Capitol, 5 to 6 people ending up dead. Nah, that's not what this is about. It's not what this is supposed to be about. So Steve Bannon just showed up. And the fact that he did it, as far as I'm concerned, he's lucky he only got 4 months. He's lucky he only got 4 months. And he's lucky his fine was only $6,500. The fine could have been 7 figures. At the very least, 6 figures. What if they had charged him $650,000? He's lucky it's just $6,500. And he's lucky he got just 4 months. That's all I want to say about that.